when we think of team building, sometimes that can be a bad word. Like if I think of team building, I think back in the day when I was in high school and I was a peer helper. And to become a peer helper, we had to go to camp. And when I was at camp, we were standing on the 4-foot platform, and I had to fall back and
Trust
trust.
falls.
I had
Oh,
to
the trust
trust.
falls.
Tell me, team building, my friend, is more than trust falls.
It is more than trust falls. It is more than zip lining and whitewater rafting. It is more than paintball. And it is certainly more than sitting in a classroom or a boardroom or whatever and listening to someone tell you how to work together as a team, right? So like I said, I put people who may or may not work together on a daily basis in the room together, right?
Yeah.
And let them organically experience the collaboration. So a story, and this is not verbatim, but the idea is time and again, I've gotten calls from clients. Hey, Matt, you did a charity bike build where we built bikes for kids. Of course, that's the crux of it, but there's a lot more to it, right? It's not just, hey, go build a bike, right? So for our company 9 months ago in San Antonio, oh yeah, your group was so much fun. Salespeople, they're so competitive, yada, yada. Right, great. So what's going on? Well, I just wanted to let you know, Joe from our New York office was on a team with Sally from our LA office, and they had never met before this, right? They only knew each other as a name and an email address from the company directory. Well, while they were building bikes and competing against other teams, they were talking as you do, and you start talking, you start out talking about business and whatnot. And by the end, hopefully you're talking about families and kids and what you're doing this weekend, and right? But they were talking about it. And Sally told Joe about a problem she recently had and how she solved it. Cool, great. That's what you're there for, right?
Yeah.
You're collaborating and communicating. Well, 9 months later, Joe had the same problem, remembered Sally talking about it, picked up the phone. That's a novel idea in and of itself, right? These days. Said, hey, Sally, it's Joe from New York. We did the bike. Oh, yeah, how's it going? They talked for a while, shot the breeze. And he said, hey, you had this problem you told me about. Can you remind me what you did to solve it? She told him. He used the same tactics. Boom, done. Right? All because 9 months before, they were on a team having fun, lighthearted competition, building bikes for kids, and it just happened to organically come up in conversation. You can't plan that type of training.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what you want. You want, you trust your employees to handle a job that you need them to do and figure things out on their own. And here's a great way to empower them to do that by communicating with each other, by collaborating, like you said. So it sounds to me like we need to be adding team building to our business. Do we need a lot of people? Can we do with 2? Like, what are we talking about here?
So if I may answer that in 2 questions,
Yeah.
I would love to. One is I've had this discussion with a half dozen people over the last month or 2 saying, I hope I'm not being naive and stars in my eyes, but I really think as we're coming out of this pandemic, however long it's going to take, and people do go back to work face to face, we have to relearn how to do that.
Right.
Right. We're out of practice. B, we may not be doing it daily. And C, some companies may be keeping people at work from home. Right. Yeah. Well, great. So the money you're saving on utilities and maybe rent or office space or whatever, or whatever, use that and bring everyone together twice a year, 3 times a year, 4 times a year, do an all hands or whatever. Talk about your business things that you want to talk about, whether it be manufacturing or sales or marketing, whatever. But my hope is that they will do something interactive. And again, I hate to use the team building terminology because people do have a negative connotation, unfortunately, sometimes. Yeah. So, but it's so much more important to bring these people together now more than it was before. And it was important before, right? I think. Anywhere from team of 2 is tough. And I would tell you, if you called me and said, hey, I have a 2-person team and we want to do a team building program, I would say, what's your budget first, right? Because my cost is, there are certain factors that I can't change. Yep. So in a situation like that, I would almost say, well, what are you hoping to achieve? what do you want it to be a structured, guided, led thing? Or are you just hoping to, and if you have the money and you want to bring me out to Wichita or Chicago or wherever you are, great, I'll do whatever you want. But if you don't, let's figure out a way you and this other individual can start getting the things you want out of the business relationship. All right. Now that's one side of it. The other side is, let's go to 1,000 people. Yeah, sure. We can absolutely do it. I did a food truck face-off competition for 800 and something people a few years ago in a huge ballroom in somewhere in North Carolina in a hotel, and it works, right? I've been part of programs where they've built bridges, cardboard bridges. We have that program for 300-400 people, 30 people. It doesn't matter. Whatever the size group you have, it's important. You want to get these people organically working together, having fun. Now, to me, I'm a total Hallmark movie junkie. I fully admit it. And there's a line in a movie, and I don't remember the title of it, and I probably shouldn't say it anyway because of copyright and all that. But the line is something along, fun is not necessarily a metric used in business, but fun people are more exciting to be around. They're more pleasant to be around. They're more productive. Now, I know there are people who will argue with me and say, no, people who are focused and you shouldn't have fun at the office. Okay, I don't agree with you, but go ahead. If that's what you need to do, go for it. Right? Okay, so here's another thing. Legally Blonde, Reese Witherspoon. I don't know if it's in the movie, so I don't quote me on this completely, but I know the musical, there's a line where Elle Woods is defending Brooke Wyndham, and she says, exercise raises endorphins. Endorphins make people happy. Happy people just don't kill, right? Well, the same thing. Happy people are just more fun to be around, and that they're more productive. That ultimately affects the bottom line, which is what capitalism is about.
Yeah, right. And when did we take ourselves so dang seriously? This is all an experiment anyways, people. So have a little fun at it while we're doing it, because look, we spend a lot of time at work, more time at work than I mean, the statistics are out there. Don't quote me on this because I don't have the statistics, but I think we spend a lot of time at work. We
spend more waking time there.
Okay, there you go. We spend more waking time at work. So my goodness, these your coworkers, your bosses, these are our family. These are extended family for a lack of a better term. So we might as well have some fun. Yeah. Thanks for watching Practical Talk on YouTube. Listen to full episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And while you're there, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Yeah.